Hey, this is Freddy from Turn Vertical, and in today's video I want to go over cost per result. What is a cost per result? How does a cost per result work? When should you be using cost per result and when you should be avoiding cost per result because it can seriously prevent your ad account from scaling up. So yeah, I would say let's get right into it. First things first, what is a cost per result? Cost per result used to be cost cap, but it's changed recently. But in, very quickly explain what it is. You tell Facebook that you want to get an average cost per result. Cost per result in most cases is the purchase, what you want to pay for a purchase essentially. You basically tell Facebook, hey, I want to pay like $40 for a purchase. And on average, you will get the results. Some maybe a little bit above, some are below. But it's important to know that this is average, set your cost per result to what keeps you profitable on average. Then how does cost per result work? I think this is more important and needs maybe some more explanation. But essentially, cost per result works different compared to like normal ads which you would be running, which don't have any cost per result. Because a cost per result ad or campaign or ad set in a sense relies on existing data to make predictive decisions in the future, which is different to normal CBOs, for example, where a lot of the results that you're getting depend on the user experience, which is your ad, right? So I just went to my Facebook newsfeed on my desktop just a few minutes ago, and I got this ad, and I screenshotted it because I wanted to explain something which I think most people don't know. And that's basically that each post on Facebook, could be your friend's post, could be an ad, could be, like a video from some meme page or whatever, is essentially its own web page, right? It has its own URL. And the newsfeed of Facebook is basically just different web pages like put together, right? And on broad ads, we don't use cost caps. All of the, your results basically depend on how the user experience is on that certain page, right? If a person clicks on the ad, that's obviously good. If a person comments, that's obviously good. If a person likes, that's obviously good. If a person watches a video, that's good. How much time do they spend on the page? All that kind of stuff. And then, of course, also, the post-purchase experience. And also depends on the user experience. But on cost caps, cost per result, this doesn't matter as much because a lot of the stuff relies on previous data that you've already gotten, right? If you run this ad as a normal ad, then you switch it to a cost cap. Let's say you run this as an ad, you get some days you're getting $45 CPAs, some days 50, and then some other days you're getting 55s, and you only want to get 50 CPAs, so you set the cost cap to 50. Then Facebook knows, hey, like this ad got $50 CPAs in the past, and then they know, basically Facebook knows who to target, right? That's different again to the normal ads that you run. First, then I want to go over why you should avoid cost caps and how they can be dangerous. And basically, because cost caps work, or cost per results work on existing data, obviously Facebook tries to give you that desired cost per result. The problem now is not everybody in your audience converts at your desired cost per result, right? That makes sense. This is fine. Some days you pay $50 for a purchase, and some days you pay $45, and some days you pay $55, right? Not every person basically converts with an equal amount of money. Some are easier to convert. Maybe they've been to your competitor's website and they just see your ad and you're lucky you convert them for a few bucks. Whereas others they maybe need to see your ad a couple of times. You spend some more money on them. So far, so good. What happens now if you turn on a cost cap? First of all, the good part is Facebook only goes after the people within your audience where Facebook thinks they can convert at your cost cap, or at your cost per result, which is, in a sense, good because you don't want to pay more than the cost per result that you set. The problem that arises now is that not everybody, again, in your audience converts at that cost per result that you set. Therefore, Facebook goes after a smaller portion of your audience, right? Maybe your target audience is 1 million people, and out of these 1 million people, 1,000 are ready to buy, and from these 1,000, 500 converted at $40, 250 at 45 and another 250 at $50. If you set your cost cap now to $45, you will not reach those people who would convert at 50. Which, if you're losing money, we will come to how to kind of fix the issue with cost caps in a bit. But if you're losing money, obviously it doesn't make sense. You say, okay, let's put the cost cap to 45. All good, all happy. You're not going to get these cheap purchases anymore. The issue is, Facebook needs to go also after these people who converted 50, even though they may not be profitable for you, to kind of go at scale, right? And what happens is, if you, in the scenario that I just kind of described, first of all, everything will be good. You get spend, but gradually you will get less spend. So if you run cost caps before, most likely you've seen it. Day one you get $1,000 a day spend. If you set it about to 1,000 a day, then the next day you get like 800, 500, 200 to 0. It's not as extreme as I just described it, but just know that if you set a cost cap and you're running no other ads, most likely, eventually, even if it takes maybe 1 or 2 months, eventually your cost cap will stop spending because there are no more people in the pool who Facebook thinks would convert at your desired cost result. Then the issue is, most people count it with a slightly higher cost cap, cost result, instead of 40, they set it to like 41. And then, you get some spend again. But the issue is Facebook most likely will go over the same people over and over again in that instance because you still not, going after these people who converted 50, 55, 60, 65, Essentially, Facebook can get you also a purchase for like 1,000 per purchase, right? If you basically train the algorithm that way. So what I want you to do is think about cost caps as kind of a retargeting campaign, right? Yes, cost caps give you cheaper CPAs. If you have a good ad account, you set the cost cap to below your average cost per result is 55 and you set your cost cap to 50, and yes, you will get spend, and yes, you will get a higher ROAS. But think about it like retargeting, Retargeting most likely or should hopefully give you a higher ROAS compared to your normal top of the funnel campaign. Would you only be running retargeting ads? No, you wouldn't. Why? Because there's only a small pool of people who convert at that higher ROAS, and that is your retargeting audience. And your retargeting audience gets essentially fed by your top of the funnel scaling campaigns, right? So think about cost caps like a retargeting campaign. Don't just run cost caps. Your cost cap should always be in addition to your normal top of the funnel campaigns. And if you only run cost caps, eventually your kind of crash will reach the same people over and over again. You won't get any spend, and if you get spend, it's most likely at a higher frequency compared to normal broad campaigns. So obviously, the question, super simple answer is when should you use cost per result? I use cost per result whenever I have a previous winner, and most likely it's one ad only. I take my previous winner, I duplicate the previous winner into it, and basically duplicate the campaign. Get rid of all of the other ads in that campaign, so that I only have the winning ad. And the winning ad is most like the one with the most amount of spend, not the one with the highest ROAS. And then I set the cost cap to something lower than my average. So let's say I have a winning ad, $100,000 ad spend, giving me $50 CPAs on average. Now I duplicate the campaign, get rid of all of the other ads except for that $100,000 ad, and I put the cost cap to 45. I'm doing that because then on good days, that ad gets spent and I have some extra spend on my account, which will be good spend. But on bad days, where the algorithm can't think, I'm getting those cheap 45 CPAs, it doesn't get any spend, it doesn't bother me because it's just an addition to my normal top of the funnel campaign. So if your average cost is 50, average cost per purchase is 50, but it's too high for you. The way to combat this is not by using cost per result, it is by kind of, making better ads, having a better AOV, having a better conversion rate. Cost caps or cost per results is not a quick fix or quick hack to get a better CPA.